I know there's an effort by some people to try and bring as much confusion to the topic of Medicare as possible, but I want to bring as much clarity as possible, so I prepared a small chart here which will describe differences in our respective plans for Medicare. First, with regards to seniors, those are people who are today 55 years of age and older, today's seniors, if you will. My plan presents no change. The plan stays the same. No adjustments, no changes, no savings. The president's plan cuts Medicare, well, let's see, I got to rest, there we go, by $716 billion. Cut. In addition, the trustees of Medicare estimate that approximately 4 million people will lose their coverage under Medicare Advantage. This is the plan they've chosen, the chose they prefer. Some 4 million current seniors will lose their Medicare Advantage plan. And finally, the Medicare actuary estimates that 15% of hospitals and nursing homes will stop taking Medicare patients. So this is the president's plan. $716 billion cut, 4 million people losing Medicare Advantage, and 15% of hospitals and nursing homes not accepting Medicare patients. The president's plan has a dramatic impact on today's seniors, people 55 years of age and older. Now there's another topic, which is, I'll call it the next generation, the generation after today's seniors, generations after today's seniors. And under the president's plan, this goes bankrupt. The Medicare trustees have notified the president that the plan will go bankrupt, Medicare Part A, in approximately 12 years. Under the plan that I proposed, it is solvent. So the differences in our Medicare perspective could not be more stark and dramatic. And I think as the seniors in America understand what the president's plan is doing to Medicare, they're going to find it unacceptable. And we're going to get a lot of support from people who understand that Medicare should be protected for current seniors as well as for the next generation. As you can see, there's no change in Medicare for seniors. None. Under my plan. Okay, so for these down here, all right, you asked me, which of these two do you think is better? Going bankrupt or being solvent? Well, obviously being solvent. And what it is the plan that I put forward is a plan very similar to Medicare Advantage. It gives all of the next generation retirees the option of having either standard Medicare, a fee-for-service type government-run Medicare, or a private Medicare plan. They get their choice. That's very much like what we have today in Medicare Advantage. It's almost identical. So people will have a choice. There'll be greater competition between the government and the private plans. I think ultimately you'll see the cost reduced as there's more competition. But the choice will be for individuals. I actually prefer consumer choice to government choice. I think the American people are also disturbed with a campaign that's been as divisive as this campaign has been. And as I go to rallies and I speak to people about the tone of the campaign, there's no question they see the same thing I've seen, which is not drawing distinctions between our positions on issues, but rather personal attacks and the kind of divisiveness that I think is unbecoming of the presidency, and frankly, the comments of the vice president as well. These are comments I think a lot of people find troubling. Well, I'm different than Congressman Ryan. We're a team. I have a different background than he has. He has a background that'll be very helpful to me if I become president, because he spent 14 years working in Washington, working with Democrats, working with members of the staff in various administrations. I mean, he understands the process and mechanics of Washington and the personalities in Washington. That'll be very helpful to my administration. What I will bring to that team is a 25-year life experience in the private sector, understanding which policies will actually have the most positive impact on job creation. So we're a team. We bring in complementary skills. At the same time, we share very common values and principles. I wanted to make sure that people understand what the president has done in welfare, what the president has done in Medicare. In both places, he's made pretty dramatic changes, which I think the people of America will find illustrative of a very different point of view than I think most people have. In welfare, providing a removal of the work requirement in certain cases, I think, is surprising to people. Likewise, in Medicare, the president has taken action in Medicare which significantly impacts the kind of health care opportunities and benefits that will be provided to current seniors. This is going to be a big issue in places where there are a lot of seniors. Because, I mean, you look up there, our plan, no change for current seniors and those 55 and older. His plan, $716 billion in cuts, with 4 million people about to lose the Medicare plan they've chosen, they prefer, and then some 15% of hospitals and nursing homes saying they won't take future Medicare patients. This is a dramatic change in the quality of health care and the opportunity for choice that seniors expect. I describe in my plan how we keep Medicare solvent, and it revolves around two things. One, greater competition, having various private plans compete to provide Medicare benefits with the government. I think it'll make the government more efficient and the private plans more efficient. And number two, as you know, I means test the support that is given to next generation retirees. When I say means test, it means that higher income people won't get as big a benefit as lower income people. And by virtue of doing those things, why we're able to keep Medicare solvent, as opposed to what the president's proposed, which is this time is to cut Medicare, not to save it. That's the amazing thing. It's not just that he's cutting $716 billion to make Medicare solvent. He cut $716 billion to fund Obamacare. And this in no way makes a step to make Medicare solvent. His plan instead makes it less able to meet the needs of our retirees. Given the challenges that America faces, 23 million people out of work, Iran about to become nuclear, 1 out of 6 Americans in poverty, the fascination with taxes I paid I find to be very small-minded compared to the broad issues that we face. But I did go back and look at my taxes, and over the past 10 years, I never paid less than 13%. I think the most recent year is 13.6 or something like that. So I've paid taxes every single year. Harry Reid's charge is totally false. I'm sure waiting for Harry to put up who it was that told him what he says they told him. I don't believe it for a minute, by the way. But every year I've paid at least 13%. And if you add in addition the amount that goes to charity, the number gets well above 20%.